YouTube. A lot of people have been asking me for a tour of the bus, so I thought I'd. In a recent video, the screens here. So now I got the one that just limits the light coming in. Can't see into it. Gives me a little bit of private. Up on the roof, we got the solar panels right here and here. One on the right I have converted to tilt. I was going to do the other one today, but it's a rainy day and I don't really want to punch holes in the rain. I do have two vents, and I added the vent covers, so even if it's raining, I don't have a problem. That blue box up there, that's the solar water heater. It does work to some extent. It's not like super hot, but on a day like yesterday when it was up in the 80s, it got warm enough to be a nice cool shower. So let's go inside. Okay, so as we come in the entranceway, I got my my stained glass, my welcome sign, and my decorative dash. Those who have seen the very first video may recognize this model. This was the scale model I made up, or close to scale. Couch, kitchen, dinette, refrigerator, closet, beds, and bathroom. So we'll go in a minute. We'll go in the back and see how close I came to that. But this is the driver's area. I did put down some carpet, trying to make it a little more comfortable and hopefully cut down some of the noise. Up here I've got my hat storage for my large hat collection, some of which you've seen, some of which you haven't yet, but there are lots of them. Let's see, down here, driver's area, I can adjust the tilt on the steering wheel. I can also adjust the height. I got a mount here for the GoPro, so with a charger, so as I'm going down the road I can film anything interesting that shows up, or just I get to a beautiful stretch of road for the intros and such. Down here behind the screen I've got a compass, so that especially when I pull in someplace, if I got the front facing east, then I know that the solar cells are on the south side and I can tip them up that way. Got my GPS over here, and about 15 years old, can't be updated, so it does take me on some interesting back roads, or tries to get me to go down roads that no longer exist. Sort of fun. Down here I have a 12 volt plug and a couple of USB ports, so I've got those sort of scattered around through the bus. So it is an automatic, and my horn up here doesn't work, but I got a button over here that maybe in the next video I will let you hear that. I do have a second horn I want to put in, but we'll save those. All right, so for a little additional privacy, I've got this this other curtain up here, so that in case I don't have that other one down or whatever. Also, it does tend to help keep the heat in when it's a cold day. So no, it's really starting to rain. Okay, so back here I've got my my heater that will it doesn't have a thermostat, so I don't ever run it when I'm sleeping. It's way oversized for the bus, so within a couple of minutes it's gone from 30 degrees up into the 50s. Anything in the 50s and I'm comfortable. I don't mind cool temperatures at all. My couch, and underneath here is storage for tools. I'm not going to open it up because that basically you have to take all this stuff off. Suffice it to say, I have way more tools than I need, but a lot of those will end up with my son once I get out to Utah in a few months. I've got a TV, and the with a DVD player, the track light or lights all the way around, or LED strip lights. But with my dinette here, I can I use it for the computer, reading, whatever. I do find this little thing indispensable, reading some of the stuff on the maps that are fine print. Speaking of maps, if you're going to be doing a road trip in an RV, spend the money. Get this Deluxe Motor Carriers Road Atlas. It's made for truckers. It shows all the truck routes, and if this happens to be Florida. As I go along, I pick up state maps, but what's really nice is this will show the low clearance locations in Florida. So my bus is, with the stuff on the roof, 11 foot 1 inch high, and that will tell me if I'm going to run across any bridges. It's not complete. I did run into a 10-foot bridge that wasn't listed back in Charlottesville. So speaking of maps, I forgot to show you up here is that I do have a map case up here. I usually put the wherever I am in this one. As I go into states, I pick up the new maps. That book is great, but it doesn't show every single location. Over here is my slowly evolving control center, another one of those USB ports and 12 volt things. I got a switch to turn on the propane, one to turn on the water, red for fire, blue for water, and one to turn on the overhead light over the table for when I'm reading or whatever. With the water, I do have the thermometer here shows me high, low, and right now I got 86% humidity, and it's 76 degrees. There is an outdoor probe, but right now it's just laying on the floor down there. I got my clock, calendar, wedding photos from way back when, and over here is the sink and counter area. This came out of that old hotel that I worked at during renovation. The faucet, I can either do a spray or just run it. I can the hose, I can swing it out of the way. Lots of room, so I do like that. It's only cold water, but the only time I really need hot water is for doing dishes, and I just fill a pan with a little bit, and within a couple of minutes it's warm enough to dump in there and do the dishes. So back here I got a 3-burner stove with an exhaust fan above it. It does have an oven, and my storage for oils and pancake mixes and sugar and liquor over there. There is storage above for my plates and glassware. And let's see, over here, microwave and refrigerator. I'm going to be getting rid of the microwave. I've used it once and I don't really need it at all. Refrigerator has been a problem. It really wants good AC power. If I'm plugged in someplace, then it's great. But if I have to use the inverter down here, this is the power station or whatever. Solar cells on the roof feed down in here to the charge controller, down to the batteries. I can isolate them with this circuit breaker. I can isolate the batteries with this one. So turn both off, and I'm isolating this. So it all goes together. I do have a modified sine wave inverter down here. The refrigerator is not liking that. It doesn't really want to work right. So I'm doing something different for a while. Battery charger. If I'm plugged in the charger, I can charge the batteries up that way. This little Yeah. Why am I blanking on it? Anyway, when I'm plugged in, this will turn on this little light up here, little 12-volt light, and it will, that lets me know that I'm plugged into shore power and that it's on in case the cord gets kicked or the trips out there. If this light goes off, then I know there's a problem and I'm not getting the power. Relay. So this relay, I've got another one in case I want to do something different to it. So things I want to add to this in the next foreseeable future. This bus is never going to be totally done. I do want to put in a monitor here to be able to monitor the batteries. I also want to put in a couple of voltmeters somewhere in here so that I can monitor each individual solar cell like Mudspringer did. So that way I'll know that they're both working. Right now, I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but I'm getting nothing because it's so dark. It's down to 11.8 volts, which means this is going to kick off sometime real soon. So I do have like I said, the lights up here. I can change the colors on them, yeah, or not. So come out of the kitchen here. I got pull-out pantry, spices handy for when I'm cooking. Stuff I use all the time. Down below are canned goods and potatoes and stuff. I use these a lot. These sides to quick meals. Easy to do. Then we come back to the bed area. There's the storage above. More tools, of course. Personal grooming things. This side has a lot of stuff. A lot of videos and books. About 500 videos. So if you run into me and you really need videos, I make you a heck of a deal on some videos. The bed area, I've got padding on the walls, which is nice. Tends to help a little bit more insulation. The window, I'm in a Walmart parking lot and the light's shining through, so I got that blocked off with a curtain. I do have this little light here for reading. It comes off the batteries. When there's not a lot of solar, I got these battery powered lights here. Down below, on either side, there are drawers. So like this one's sweaters and so on. Latches to keep things from coming loose. All right, so now into the bathroom. Okay, bathroom back here is these shower curtains come down on this rack, go all the way around, and we'll isolate it. This is over a pan that drains down into the gray water tank. This would be my shower right here. So the solar thing on top doesn't get it super hot, but gets it warm enough. Composting toilet here, cat pan down there for the fur overlord who's hiding someplace. This is my waterless urinal, which is an upcoming video. I'll show you how I built that. Because the refrigerator is being finicky, I'm using an ice chest right now, and the ice lasts about 2 days in this temperature. So wheelchair lift that I'm not using at this point, and again some storage. So that's pretty much it. Let me get down here where it's a little brighter. That's pretty much it. get an idea what the bus is. If you do have any, or what I've done to it, if you got any questions, let me know, and I'd be more than happy to try to answer them. A lot of them, how I built all this is in all of the bus build videos, the old-time skoolie. And that's about it. See you next time, YouTube.
So say hi to the folks, Cammy. This is my furry overlord in her hidey hole.
Hi, I'm Steve. This is my furry overlord, Cammy, and we're traveling around the country, checking out things, looking for those places that most people just sort of miss or never heard of. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, tell your friends and neighbors about it, and if you want to make a contribution, there's a button up there on my homepage, and as long as they last, every $5 you send, I'll send you a couple of stickers. So